All right, let's start.
All right. So, hi everyone. For those of you who don't know me, so my name is Swati, and I'm currently a PhD student at Emory University. I will be presenting my team's work on multilingual long chain of thoughts. So I understand if someone is new here, I'll just quickly cover like the basics of this project. So our research question is to understand how well multilingual large language models work for extremely difficult STEM questions. So essentially, there are two aspects in this project: multilinguality and extremely difficult STEM questions, right? So just to give everyone a perspective, these questions had an accuracy of around 60%, even by the domain experts, right? Like even the people who had the knowledge of physics, chemistry, they were only able to achieve 60% accuracy for those questions. That's the kind of extreme difficulty these questions have. So before I move to updates and upcoming, let me explain this flow chart to you. Ahmed, would it be possible for you to put it on slideshow so that it's like bigger?
That makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. So let me cover the flow chart first, and then I'll move to updates and upcoming. So first of all, we needed to decide which data sets, and we finalized GPQA and Camel AI. So these two data sets have different purposes. GPQA is for the evaluation, and Camel AI is for the training of the model, and I'll cover that later on. GPQA has 448 multiple choice questions, which are curated by the domain experts in biology, physics, and chemistry. And Camel AI is another data set which has more questions. For instance, 20,000 questions per subject. And the subjects we are considering are biology, physics, chemistry, although they have more subjects, but because we are kind of aligning this data set with GPQA, we are only considering biophysics and chemistry. And our first goal is, because these data sets are in English only, we are first going to translate them into multiple languages. And thanks to the people in our group who speak so many languages, we have these languages, as you can see on the top of the figure. For example, the Javanese, Espanol, Indonesian, Marathi, which is an Indian language, Punjabi, another Indian language, Hindi, Indian language, Persian, Bangla, and so on. So all these languages will be evaluate. All these language speakers will evaluate the translation made by Cohere API to ensure that there is no error or something like that. And for translation, we are using Command A. Once we have that, and once we have manually verified, we will get two set of data sets, which are multilingual GPQA and multilingual Camel AI. So that's kind of the goal of this project, because again, it's an 8-week it's an 8-week project. So we were like kind of making sure that we have everything by the end of 8 weeks. Now, updates so far. So for translation, we have finalized the prompts, and we have also fine-tuned the prompts, because we realized that not every language is fully supported by Command A. Not fully, but actually like enhanced support is not provided. So we had to utilize other APIs for that. And we have already translated GPQA Diamond Physics into 30 languages. Now, you might be wondering, what is GPQA Diamond? So out of all the GPQA data set, there is a subset called Diamond, which are very, very difficult. Like even within the extreme difficult, they have created a subset which is very difficult. And we have found that so far the translation quality is very good, at least for the ones for which we are using Command R. And LLM eval harness had a bug, we found, and we have already reported that on their GitHub page, but that's a different story. But basically, the GPQA preprocessing function was resulting in incorrect physics equations. So we found that the translation was kind of hallucinating. Next week, or maybe in the upcoming time, we will verify the human evaluation. So once we already have physics translation in 13 languages, all the 13 people, not exactly, 7 people will be verifying the evaluation and comment scores of the translation. And evaluation metrics for Cohere and Qwen model will also be done. And we are also finalizing the training data set and supervised fine-tune models for the actual training of multilingual Camel AI. Open to any feedback, of course. If you can suggest anything, yeah, that would be great. Thanks, everyone.
Perfect. That was really nice. Thanks for introducing the project and also giving the updates. I think I have only feedback. So I can open up feedback for everybody for like a minute or 2 minutes actually. But one feedback from my side. So you mentioned you are using Command A for translation, I guess, right? And I was actually just going to ask because Command A might not be super good for some languages like Javanese because of the pre-training mixture and also for like a language
Right.
becomes prioritized. So what is the approach for those?
So the language is not supported by Command A. We are using Claude. Claude is the another one because it's open source and one of our members had access to the resources to run the translation. So that's the another approach
That
we are
makes
using.
sense.
And so far we have been able to see nice performance.
Okay, that makes sense because yeah, that is especially for the evaluation that is most important piece, right? Getting
Right.
I mean, putting the evaluation part correctly.
I
So
think
I would be
another
careful.
approach we were wondering was NLLB.
Mhm.
But we haven't been able to kind of check that area out. But yeah, that is another thing. If and again, the goal was if Claude doesn't do well, then we will also evaluate how well NLLB performs. But I don't know what has your experience been with NLLB.
So let's make it. This is the final piece. But with the NLLB, when we are working on Aya dataset, it's actually really robust in general.
Oh,
But if you look at the more like accuracy, like precision in terms of the transaction quality, because this is more evaluation, right? So as close to gold as possible, this is what you would want. So for evaluation dataset, we tend to use more powerful like translation models, either our own models or Google Translate. So I
right.
would go NLP if it is the last choice, but it will give you a baseline, of course.
Okay.
But one other suggestion, and let's make this as a final. If there is a possibility that the people can edit the translations, not only review, then it is fine. You can do it in NLP. Then the mistakes will be seen and then post edited, right? Then I think that's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
I think